Being a photographer to me means responsibility, because with that camera, you have a responsibility to tell the truth and to tell your story. Having one of the only Black-owned camera stores is very important. I feel like it's a very important thing to have belonging, as well as just having a space that people can feel comfortable going to, asking any type of questions that they want about cameras or photography. My name is Dominick Lewis. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I'm the owner and founder of Photodom NYC, a camera store and community in Brooklyn, New York. And in 2024, my business brought in $1.1 million in sales. My vision for the store was definitely to make it a one-stop shop for photographers, especially analog photographers, because that's where my focus is. I definitely want Photodom to be a place that is catered towards the community around it, and able to still allow people to learn new skills and have a place to belong. Within our first 3 months of opening in September 2020, we made $186,000 in sales. So the business started to grow by being able to handle more customers more efficiently. So we were able to take more orders in faster, more efficiently, handle them faster. So that meant having the proper film processors, film scanners, even having a website that operates fully functional, because we were still selling products online. One of the things that I've been doing a lot, especially with the brand, is creating our own products. Alibaba has been one of the most elemental platforms for doing that. We have our own jacket, we have our own lens cleaners, cleaning kits, bags, camera straps, you name it. We have a little bit of everything. We're still developing new products, even our own cameras and film. And we're constantly trying to create more products to be able to not just increase our bottom line, but have something that we can stand behind as well. All the equipment that we use for our lab are all old equipment, so the price of it is going to constantly go up. So it's one of the things that you have to be ready to be able to handle. The neighborhood loves us being here. I chose this neighborhood mainly because I've noticed there are a lot of artists around. I had a friend who had a studio in this building first, and I visited him and it was like, oh wow, this neighborhood's really cool. I think I want to open a camera store here. There's nowhere in this neighborhood you can get a passport photo taken except Photodom, as well as just having a space that people can feel comfortable going to, asking any type of questions that they want about cameras or photography. I discovered photography at 18. I bought a camera right out of high school as a graduation gift to myself, and I quickly fell in love with it. One thing that I focused on a lot is Black fatherhood, because that's something that's very taboo in the Black community. It's like, oh, Black fathers aren't present. Well, I can show you that they are. I have hundreds of photos of Black fathers, and I feel like reestablishing the means of that camera to show Black joy, to show Black parenthood, because for me, I grew up without a father, so I want to tell that story in a different light, that Black fathers are present, even though mine wasn't. It definitely was a catalyst to understanding how to operate a business and not to put all your eggs into one basket. So one thing that I did differently with this business is having multiple streams of revenue. With that business, we only had the studio bookings, and that wasn't enough to get us by every month. Later in 2020, I couldn't find any Black-owned camera stores, anything that I could support. I was like, this is something that needs to happen. I definitely felt that wanting to start something at that time, especially a physical camera store, could have been very impactful for the community. I honestly never had it in my plans to open a camera store. I really wanted to keep everything online, but I definitely thought if there was anyone to do a camera store, it would be someone like me who had the experience behind it. Within a couple of days, we were able to meet our goal of $25,000, and then we actually exceeded our goal, and we made close to $40,000. That was definitely used towards funding, getting the cameras, getting the inventory, and just making the store full of just items for people to be able to purchase, and also increase our services. I was shocked because I didn't think that many people knew about what I was doing. It blew up overnight, and a lot of people were supportive of the efforts to make something that was Black-owned and very personal to the community that we served. They're not making any new film cameras, barely. So the prices of those cameras are going to constantly start going up, as well as all the machinery you need to run a lab. So that always will be the downside of having an analog-based business, especially built around vintage technology. One of the things that I definitely wanted to do was to have more inventory, because when it comes to having a retail shop, if you don't have a product, you can't sell it. And so some people are coming in asking for specific products. If you don't have it, then you're missing out on sale and you're sending it somewhere else. So I really did double down on increasing inventory and equipment so we can be able to handle more customers and build steady inventory. It's one of the biggest things that you can do in retail is have the proper inventory and the space for it. With the store, some of the biggest initial hurdles that we faced was definitely staffing, employee relations, and being able to be a boss is a very big skill that I had to learn over the years in terms of just like having the proper HR in place, having the proper things in place to be able to handle bringing in outside help, because initially some of the people I'd hired were people I knew. But it's one of the biggest things that I'm still learning and still building on as well. I guess any advice I'd give to a young entrepreneur is learn everything you can about your business and don't depend on a singular person to do it, because if I was dependent on another person for the film processor, it would mean that I'd have to keep that person on board or find someone else. I had to learn it myself, as well as every role in the business. And I think that's a very important skill to have, so you can train someone else and not have to be dependent on that person training the next person. So I learned how to make websites, I learned how to process film, I learned how to source products, I learned how to be the buyer. And those are all skills that is necessary for a business to be able to operate it successfully. I always envision Photodom in the future as even being an institution, a place that is very necessary for all purposes around it. And that if that means establishing a place that is supporting photography in a community like Bushwick and Bed-Stuy, I think that's something that I would want to see Photodom become in the future. So one of my visions in the future is to open a second location, either uptown in like Harlem or in South Bronx. For me, our motto is create something today, because no matter in what form you create, as long as you're creating something every single day, you're gonna get better at it. That's why we're open 7 days a week, because every day somebody's in need to create. And yeah, that's something I live by. I try to create every single day.